I just finished 2 projects. I should feel relieved, right? But instead, I'm looking at my yarn stash and it feels like nothing changed. Have you ever cut out cookies from dough and it never seems to end? No matter how many you make, there's always a piece left. That's exactly how my stash buster mission feels right now. I just finished 2 lovely projects. Why do I not see any progress? All I see is I'm left with new leftover yarn from the yarn I was already trying to use up. It almost feels like a Sisyphus effect, where progress is undone the moment you look at what's left. Or maybe it's just that we remember the unfinished pieces more than the finished ones. So instead of giving up on the idea of stash busting, I changed how I approach it all in 3 simple steps. First, I make my progress visible. Second, I reduce everything to 1 box. And third, I work through the stash in several passes. This doesn't make the stash disappear at once, but it definitely makes the task feel more manageable. So let's get to work. First, I need to make progress visible. For that, I went back and refined my dashboard and made progress more visible with labeling the different project phases as swatch, pick, whip, done. Sometimes it is necessary to swatch a second time after having chosen the pattern. So I added an additional swatch in the column Pick. The finished projects move all the way to the right. I also put all inspirations on a separate board, clearly visible as well, but not mixed with the ongoing projects. Additionally, I also created a simple chart to track stash reduction in grams. I started with 4.39 kilograms of yarn stash and I'm now at 3.8 kilograms. The 1 box principle. This is a fancy way of saying I'm not aiming for 0 immediately, I'm just reducing everything down to 1 defined goal. In my case, this is 1 single box or 1 kilo. Third, by allowing myself to go through the stash in several passes instead of 1, I can reduce friction, keep my brain focused and stay organized. Now, what does this exactly mean? Well, as a default, I place all newly leftover yarn immediately into that 1 box and then I can forget about it. By doing that, I reduce the cognitive dissonance and the resulting pull to try to finish an open task. In my case, to follow through with this newly leftover yarn, I risk to get stuck in an endless planning loop. Instead, I want to focus on the next project on the board that I already have swatched and chosen a pattern for, or on my work in progress. By putting the newly leftover yarn into a box and moving the swatch to the box symbol, I signal my brain that the seemingly open task is not open but closed and I'm ready to move on. And maybe this is what I'm learning, that progress doesn't always look like finished objects. Sometimes it's just about making things a little lighter and setting systems in place. I finished my Louvre sweater this week and I really love how it turned out. The stash might not disappear completely, but it becomes something I can work with instead of something that works against me.